Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the speed trails, and I'm almost at the InVision 74 race 45. As it is normal with this kind of event, things start to get difficult after you get very close to getting the car. Now, how upgraded do you have to be? That's going to be one of the key questions for newer players and people starting off this event, where they're somewhat into the event. You know, you're still building your car. Just how fast does it have to get? Well, the answer to that is actually pretty fast. Now, up until race 40, it wasn't that bad. If your car runs like 9s, it would get you there. But once you get past race 41 to 42, things start to escalate pretty fast. By this point, the Porsche would not be able to make it without stage 6s. In fact, 9.2 requires probably a top stage 6 to get. The good news about the Porsche is that it does beat dyno a little bit. So as long as you're driving it right, you might be able to squeeze more out of the car than what the car is willing to normally give you. That is the good news. The bad news, of course, is even if you have that, you still have to have the car upgraded enough to hit stuff like this speed trap, to hit stuff like the next race, which requires an even faster setup. And the InVision 74 race itself, the relay itself, is not easy at all. So race 44, we're going back to the Lexus, and the Lexus has to be plenty quick. Sure, it doesn't need to run under 8s. An 8-second run here will definitely guarantee me the win. So here we go. Okay, so I squeezed out about an 8.0 run there. And what did the opponent run? 8.6. So, but 8.6, don't forget, this Lexus isn't that good. At stage 5 only, full fusion is more or less around 10. So you're moving from 10 to 8.6, and you know that's going to require quite a bit of upgrades. Here's where things going to get tough. Notice that it's extreme, because for this race, I believe I have to get under 16 seconds total. The good news here is that even though it says extreme, if I drive really well, I'll be able to pull this off. But again, I can't screw up. This is going to be one of those where both cars have to run close to 8.0 or 7.9 for me to get this. So let's go ahead and shoot for it. Right, so with the Porsche, I'm going to skip gears and try to get the most out of it. Look at that first race. Trash by the opponent. So that brings us to the second car. Now, notice that's only a 709, but that's pretty high Evo. This one, 708, 1690, is going to be a slower car than that. So it's not going to run 7.4, but it's probably going to run like an 8.6. And I have a half a second deficit here, but it did go from extreme to hard, which means it's now very beatable. This car may in fact run 9s. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, the Lexus, I didn't launch it too well, but I did skip the gears properly, I think, and my 8.15 eked out a win. Mind you, total on the other side, 16.331. Total on my side, 16.167. That's with two cars basically running 8s in order to make it. Sure, I screwed up this one a little bit. This should have ran an 8.00 something, and this could have ran a 7.9 something. But again, not easy at all. So don't underestimate the difficulty near the end, especially this actual race to get the InVision 74. And just how good is this car? Well, this car is quite good. I built it on my main account, so we're going to jump back there to look at it while I slowly build it on this account. Being a purple star, you're not going to be able to get stage 6s right away. However, do keep in mind that if you do build this car and put it to work, there is at least one stage 6 right here. And now by actually getting access to the crates, you can now potentially get, if you're very lucky, another stage 6 from here. But you have to lock in the car first. So I'm going to go lock it in, get that crate, then we'll jump over to the other account and take a look at the vision and just see how good that car is. So let's go ahead and do the select car, Envision, locking car, confirm. We don't have to race it. Once it's locked in, the crates are opened up. Now, obviously, the earlier you beat the event, the more access to the crates you would have, and more likely you hit loyalty and actually get a stage. Oh, look at that, stage 6, first. Wow. All right. So, wow. Okay. Very good. I'm not sure which stage 6 that was, but you know what? I don't care. Getting any stage 6 out of one of these crates is incredible, and it's good luck. So I'm not sure which one I got, honestly. I don't care. Okay, I got a stage 6 out of the first crate I went for. So once I built this car, I'll have at least one stage 6. So let's go ahead and jump into the other account and look at the car that's built, and let's give you guys a little feedback on just how good this car is. Hey, we're back, and we're now on my main account where I've already built the Envision 74. Let's take a look at this car. This car's numbers, look at those numbers, 646, 27, 22. It is with full fusion, and I'm not leveraging the only stage 6 I got on this account so far, which is tire. Look at this, with stage 4 trans, 3 tire, 5 body, 2 nitrous, and 3 intake. Although, I mean, it's called inverter and overboost and all that fun stuff. I don't care. The point is that with just those upgrades, without even getting into more upgrades, you're already looking at a car that is substantially quick with simple tune, and it comes right in at 9.172. 9.172 is basically what it can run. Now, the tricky part about all electric cars is the problem with launch, right? It has to launch just right. Now, this is one of those things where I generally do a release launch, and what you want to do is be able to get basically a 0 RPM drop out of this car, and then you can push it into, maybe I just leave it in third for the next run, but you basically, in that third gear, you'll be able to get through. That should be a 9.0 run if I got all my ducks lined up in a row, got my shifts perfect, get the 0 RPM drop, all that fun stuff. So let's try again. Now, the instant nitrous, of course, is important. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes if you launch just a little off, what it'll do is it'll stick the nitrous and it'll just flash orange. It won't go. That would naturally delay you. So basically, it is able to run about a 10th under. And again, my device doesn't let me get instant nitrous as well as an Apple device. So there might be another 100 or 2 to shave off easily there. Not that you really would need it, because with the performance point here, this is normally where you see 11-second cars. Okay, so we're in the 9s with just that much performance point. That's why our Evo's in the 2700. If everything is played correctly, and again, you need to set it up for these lobbies, but if you set your car up, this car at 9.17 dyno should be facing 9.4, 9.5 cars for the most part. Of course, this car here also gets lobby advantage when set up properly. So this one might be a 9.3, 9.2 car in this lobby. Even though the lobby itself might be 9.5, you're going to get 9.1, 9.2 dyno cars in there. And unfortunately, I cannot connect to him. I am not sure why. That could be a device-related issue. Maybe he'll pop back up and I'll challenge him. Sometimes they can accept my challenge, but I cannot accept theirs. When that back button pops up, it tells me they can accept. If they cannot accept, that button doesn't pop up either. We just time out. Okay, so here we go. Now, again, he's got a good car. So the question is it good enough to really keep up with me and destroy me? Or am I going to get my advantage up front? Okay, now I slowed down quite a bit there to maintain my run averages to keep my advantage. He ran a 9.5. I did a 9.4 almost. And don't forget, we're on a 9.17 dyno. He's not satisfied with that. Tells me the car could do quicker, which I anticipate it should be able to. So let's take a look again. Now, I haven't really perfected the shifting on this. Should I shift that early? Should I not shift that early? I mean, it's hard to say where I should shift it. Downshifting, probably want to do it pretty late. This car tend to have some problems with slowing down a little too much and then losing steam too fast if you start slowing down in the middle of the track. But again, that's a pretty solid car we just raced against. These are usually even more aggressive in this lobby. I mean, don't forget, at this point, these guys can still down tune from like an 8.8 into this lobby. So again, it's kind of tricky whether I am going to be able to. Well, nitrous stuck a little bit there. This is going to be a little bit slower run. It's going to be a little trickier to know whether I can beat the F1, but it's definitely going to be a closer run. And there, a little tap slowing down actually cost me the race. But again, I don't want to really run too fast yet. 9.3s in here, not unusual. It's pretty normal for these F1s to run pretty fast in here. So again, they're beatable, but do I want to sacrifice my car's potential lobby advantage here just for the sake of beating? Oh, my car turned purple. Just for the sake of beating a F1 here. So let me see what else we got. We got another F1. Let's take on one more F1. Again, in this lobby, these guys are pretty dominant. Not to say there are not cars out there that can easily beat them, but still relatively dominant as a starting car. Okay, so doesn't look like anything's happening. Let's not waste too much more time here. Here, the car is really good because we're talking about no stage 6, and you're already getting into the 2700s. If you go for stage 6, of course, the problem is it pushes this up quite a bit. Not to say that's terribly bad, but this gets even better, but not enough to justify all the performance point gains I just got. Sure, I'm going to probably be in the mid 8s by that point, but not enough to really make me want to upgrade to that point. And the same goes for some of this. But some of these parts, for example, if you just pop in some 3s in, it doesn't add, well, it does in this case, but it does add some of that. But again, you're talking 2800 Evo with a car like this. Okay, 2900 is probably possible, but at some point it's gonna become not really worth it because this point gets too high, even though this is up there. Now, where this car also at this level can do pretty well, let's say if you put all the stage 5 in plus my one stage 6, you actually lose Evo because your benefit from high Evo starts to go away. Your car just can't get more Evo without getting too crazy fast, so it actually levels out. But what you need that for is stuff like this, where you're trying to finish this event. You're going to want to get that car as upgraded as you can and then try to run these last few races. I don't know if it's enough to make it through yet. I don't think so. One stage 6 might be, I would definitely say would be pushing it. But let's see how far we can. Oop, I didn't get the needle drop, so this will be a slightly slower run than what I would prefer. But the car is probably in the 7s, and it is. That's a 7.68 run. I did not get the 0 RPM drop, so most likely still not optimal run. Now the next run is green rather than blue, which means it's getting tougher. And I'm sure I'm still going to be stuck near the end here. I don't think I'm going to get... Alright, so again, had a hard time getting that nitrous. Like I was saying, I'm probably not going to get the final run through because it's going to escalate very quickly. But let's see. So far, so good. Race 59's doable. Wow, we're almost there. I may beat this tonight. How about that? Okay. Never count your chicken before the eggs hatch. Okay, 0 to 60. This car does plenty well. Oh, and there it is, right? Just when you start to think, oh, I got this, in comes the impossible race. Meaning, with one stage 6 tire and all stage 5, all fusions, not good enough. Let's see how far off we are. I'm going to try. I am trying. I am definitely... no. Wow. Okay, so that looks like a 7.3 or 7.2 out of the other guy. 7.267. And I'm at 7.6, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get much better. So without another stage 6, I'm dead in the water. Okay. Do you really need to beat that last race? Well, with most of these events nowadays, my attitude is, if the car gets there, great. If the car does not get there, does it hurt my feelings? No. Would I like to have 5 more gold keys? Maybe. Okay. Especially with Race Pass having these pull gold key 3 time tasks. Sure, every gold key counts, but it's not like I'm currently that short on gold keys. Here's the thing, I am also 3 pulls away from getting the loyalty for another, and I might get lucky like I did on my second account. One of these free pulls might end up being a stage 6. But in any case, the Envision 74, is it worth all that effort to build the other 2 relatively unremarkable cars to get this? My personal opinion is, well, yeah. I mean, this is probably one of the better electric cars in the game as far as numbers are concerned. Is it as good as, say, the Solus GT, the F5 Venom, and some other cars out there? Probably not. But is it good overall as one of the live racers in the game with a huge lobby advantage? Absolutely. Plus, it doesn't require that much upgrades to really shine, so there you go. My personal opinion, this is a worthy addition to your garage. If you like live racing, you like to drive electric cars and can actually get the launch, you should be doing quite well with this car. Again, that depends on other factors of how you set it up, which lobby you land in, how many people in the lobby can beat Dino versus you, because you cannot. Can you get enough advantage that even though you don't beat Dino, you still beat the Dino beaters? There are a lot of ifs, a lot of question marks, and a lot of things you have to consider if you're really setting this up for live racing. That is also why I love live racing, because there's so many variables that makes it challenging and interesting every time I click on an opponent. Well, that is the Speed Trails event, as well as my quick review of the Envision 74 for live racing. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you have any information you would like to add, feel free to do so. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and like to see this kind of videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get notified when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.